Hey everybody, this is James, aka Jimmy Pockets YouTube channel, and also of Empty Pockets Garage. I just wanted to make a quick video because it didn't surprise me, but it did surprise me that they would literally put this in writing to their employees. And what I'm talking about here is the FEMA supervisors telling their relief disaster workers to bypass assessing individuals' homes who would be in need of uh, disaster relief assistance if they showed signs of being a Trump supporter. Um, that is discrimination uh, because of your political affiliation, which I'm pretty sure, I mean, I'm not a college graduate, but I'm pretty sure that's against the law in this country. And they did it up to a few days before the election because honestly, they thought that she was going to win and that they would never be held accountable for anything that they do. Now, I said a while back that here in Springfield, Ohio, for our Haitian issue, FEMA was how a lot of the people were getting their assistance. And, Mayorkas pretty much said so. And then the whole left wing media tried to spin that as in that wasn't part of the National Disaster Relief Fund. It was a completely different fund. It was under the same department, but not the same category, which is just another long winded way of saying BS. So, I said this about the people in North Carolina and places where, even though it was a crappy attempt of helping people, because a lot of, you all heard the stories about FEMA going in there and basically hindering the locals of trying to assist themselves and assisting their neighbors. And everybody chalked that up. Well, it's just the U.S. government. There's a lot of bureaucracy. It's not intentional. That's just when you deal with such a large entity, you kind of have that kind of thing. But the fact is that if those people who went online and filled out the form to get assistance, and come to find out that if they uh, were the type of individuals who got up and went to work every day, owned their own homes, had home insurance, that they were not eligible for assistance, which is another thing I call BS on, because at the time that I mentioned this, you got to be intelligent enough to know that, okay, so insurance doesn't, it takes weeks and sometimes months for insurance adjusters to get in there and aid the people who have homeowners insurance. Doesn't help today at that time when I was talking about it. And the fact that they're talking about people who had a decent income as far as their living and what they did for a living. But the stupidity in that is none of them were working. They were trying to put their lives back together. So saying that, getting back to this whole deal with FEMA and the corruption in FEMA, um, and a lot of people called BS on me when I was trying to say that, that's where the Haitians who had not the EBT card but the Bank of America card, that kept getting reloaded with money every month is the fact that it's corruption. They use the system to get around the ability of funding something that they know they shouldn't be funding. But the whole idea of today's video is the fact that they would tell their workers, and it's this that now FEMA has come out and and I got my information from the Daily Wire. You can go on the dailywire.com and get the whole story. But I just wanted to put my opinion out there because this Marnie Washington is the supervisor, and not only did they instruct their workers verbally, but they also did it with a grouped text message that they use to communicate with each other. And the whistleblower that came forward, once Daily Wire started questioning the co-workers of the whistleblower, they all confirmed the same thing that the whistleblower was saying. And they showed a screenshot of the group text message about avoiding the homes that showed signs of being a Trump supporter. Once again, this was a few days before the election. They thought she was going to win. But now that she didn't, accountability needs to happen here. And they're going to claim, just like they did back, do you remember the IRS scandal back during Obama? I think her name was Lois Lerner. They claim it was a rogue office in Cincinnati, Ohio that was targeting conservative charities and stuff like that, about their, going after them to try to get them to pay taxes for stuff that, anyway, it's just another form of the government attacking one side of the aisle when they claim that we do, when there's no signs of the right doing it to the left, but there's all kinds of evidence of the left doing it to the right. And now with the age of social media, to where most people don't get their information through the major networks anymore, they get it through like Joe Rogan and Tim Pool and places like that, and hopefully the videos that I make. And saying that, I just wanted to say, if you hadn't seen the story, check the story out. It's disgusting. And I hope President Trump gets in there and holds these people accountable, holds Mayorkas accountable. There should be charges pressed against that man. And saying that, I just wanted to get on here and talk about the terrible things that FEMA does under the supervision of Mayorkas. And one thing about this individual, FEMA put out an official statement and said that he's no longer in charge of being over the relief efforts there. They didn't say he was fired. They just said he wasn't in charge of that particular thing anymore. So I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. So anyways, I've gone on long enough. I just wanted to get on here and have a quick conversation about that, my opinions on this, and how the North Carolina thing with relief help, and now this deal after Hurricane Milton in Florida. Justice needs to be served. These people need to be held accountable. But until next time, this is James, aka Jimmy Pockets. I'm out of here.